Hey YouTube, what's going on, people? Alright, so this is going to be my intro video. This is me just explaining who I am, what the channel's about, um, and me trying to not say so much, but it's my filler. But anyway, so my name is Brittany. I'm from Beverly, Massachusetts, originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Woo woo! Shout out to the 414. It'll always be home. Um, and I am starting this YouTube journey along with some of my friends. My friend Franklin, he will be doing some mukbang videos with me. We'll be discussing different foods throughout Massachusetts, Boston more in general, but we'll be reaching out to other towns and stuff. I will be doing some videos about myself, about who I am, things that I like to do, things that I like to see, and trying to get more comfortable with putting myself out there. Um, People who know me usually say, "Is there anything that you don't do?" I get that a lot. Um, I like to do so many different things, and I don't like to be pigeonholed to one thing. In my life, I've been a nail stylist, a manicurist. Some would say I have my real estate license. I'm a licensed real estate agent. But I really do that for people that I know and love. I just like to be able to get a deal done for them if it needs to be. If it needs to be. So I went and got my license last year so that I could do that. I really like being a person that can help with any situation. I don't like to not be of service. I've always been the go-to person, and if I don't know, I know who to go to. Um, so that's just a little history on me. Um, I have worked every kind of retail job there is, just because I do sometimes miss the banter of the small talk. If you're into the MBTI, I think it's called, the little personality stuff, I'm a INTJ. But if I'm feeling nice, I'll be a INFJ on the survey. But I've learned that, my F function is more out of my feeling is more out of empathy for people, and I can turn it on and off. So that's what makes me even more of a INTJ, is because I can turn it off and on. I am a person that can very easily turn off my feelings and just get to the solution. And it might not be what's best for me, but it's the best solution for the situation. Um, and for that reason, I sometimes get told that I'm cold because I just want to do what's right, not necessarily what's popular. I'm also on the board for my housing cooperative that I live in. Um, and that might be saying too much of where I live, but what are you gonna do? So I'm not gonna do anything crazy. I'm just living my life. I've had my locks now for about a year. Yeah, a year in August. So, yeah, the year. It's time for them to be retwisted. But I like them. I love them. I've been natural now for 11 years. Yeah, 11 years. I went natural in like '07, the beginning of '07, possibly even '06. I moved out here in '06. That's pretty much when I went natural, because I couldn't find anybody to do my hair the way that I like it done. Milwaukee, you know, us girls, we like our hair big and full, especially back then. I loved a wrap. My hair was wrapped and laid, honey child. But I couldn't find anybody that knew how to do my hair. Like, not the weave, not putting the sew in. Like, I want my hair, you know, laid. And I learned later on that, you know, out here you gotta go to the Dominicans. But I didn't know that back then. And I had already went natural. So my hair is that 4C kind of hair. I don't know if I'm gonna do hair videos, but if it looks like I keep looking off, it's because, one, I'm new to this thing, and I do like looking at myself because I then don't feel so lonely. Just talking like I'm a crazy person. I'm not crazy though. No, just a little bit. But anyway, so if I'm looking off, it's because I'm really looking at my hair in the camera. But I love the freeness of my locks. Like, I can just wake up, shake my head, and go. Like, you know, it's not this wrapping up at night, rolling my hair. Like, it was a process, child. I was really doing it because everybody was doing it back then. And I went natural when it was not popular to be natural. Now, like, everybody is with the movement. And it's cool. It's cool to see. I actually am very happy with that. But at times, you know, some of the naturalistas, they, you know, want to push all these products on you, and I'm just not a product girl anymore. Like, in the beginning, I was a product junkie because I was trying to figure out what would work on this coarseness of mine. But no, not anymore. I wash it, and that's it. I wash, condition. I don't even blow dry. Like, that's it. And I like that. My hair is, woohoo. Ooh, it needs a retwisting bad. If you know anybody in Massachusetts that would love to retwist a girl's hair, just call me. Leave a message. But but at the same time, that's just when I really think about it. Most of the time I don't think about my hair and I just keep it going, like, bye. Let me do what I gotta do. But anyway, sorry, got off topic. I kind of do that. I think I'm gonna let this thing be raw. Just let me talk about whatever's on my mind, whatever floats through my brain for that day. And hopefully you guys like my rawness. Like I said, I'm going to try to work on my ums. I still catch myself saying it, but I don't know any other fillers. Like, I used to be the girl that said like all the time. And as a kid, they got on me like, oh, you're so valley, you're so valley. Because I was like, you know, like, come on. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I was that girl. But yes, so maybe yes will be my new filler. I just need one because my mind is always going much faster than my mouth is. So yeah, maybe I'll go with yes. I don't know, but yeah. So I am working on a lot of things with myself. I am an entrepreneur, so I'll always have my hands in different businesses. I've had a couple different businesses. Most of my businesses are service-based businesses, so, but I'm not really good at the marketing aspect, which is why I will do something for a long time, and then if it slows down, I move on to the next hustle. Like, I just don't stop. Like, so when I first moved out here, I worked for the temp agencies because I didn't know anybody out here, and I was 20, I was 20 when I moved out here, which was weird because at the age of 20, I could not drink. So it was really, if you've ever lived in Boston and you're under the age of 21, you can sympathize with this. You can't go nowhere when you're under 21, and like, you know, all my roommates were older than me. So they would go out and go drinking together, and I felt like they created a bond out of, partying with each other. And because I was younger, I couldn't relate to them on that level because I couldn't get in. Maybe my fault was that I always called to see if I could get in without being 21, and of course they always said no, so I just never went. Maybe I could have gone if I actually tried, but to just show up. But I'm not a just show up type of girl. Like, I need plans, oddly enough, because I don't like planning. But when it comes to my time, I need to know what's going on. So yeah. So my experience with Boston as being under 21, it was very much just do your schoolwork. That's what I came out here for, was for school. And it was very much like, you can't go out no way. Nobody's going to let you go. So just do your work. So my first year, I had 3 jobs and I worked. I was kind of crazy. But rent is expensive out here, and so was school. So I didn't want to be homeless. So I just did it. And then I think I burnt myself out after that first year because I did not want to work for nobody ever again in life. I was a prep cook. I did cashiering in a home improvement store because I wanted to be an architect. So I went to the Boston Architectural College. I loved that college. It was very great. I did not graduate, but I did love that college. It's a night school, and during the day they want you to work in firms, and because firms know that you have to have your working hours, I felt like they took advantage in not paying what I felt like I needed to be paid in order to maintain. And so that's why I kind of got out of the school, is because if you're not going to pay me, what's the point? At the end of the day, I'm trying to, support myself and a future family. So I need to make money. I don't have an inheritance. I don't have, money that's going to be handed down to me. Like, no, I got to make this for me and mine's now. So I pretty much just was like, I'll figure out another way at another point, but I need to make money now. So yeah, then I started grinding and hustling. And when I say hustle, I don't mean I'm out here scamming people and stuff like that. I mean I'm working really hard, putting in the hours, doing it the legit way. And, or I'll, do nails and stuff like that, throw parties and, the legit way. So yeah. But that's when I first moved out. I've been out here for 12 years now. And I'll tell you that a lot of people are surprised when they hear my story. Like, you moved out here by yourself? No family, no friends? You knew nobody at the age of 20? And just, yeah. Yeah, I did. I've never been afraid to be alone. So it wasn't hard for me. I'm not someone that needs a lot of people to tell me what to do. I'm the oldest of 4, so I naturally am a leader, and so I was built for this, It was nothing to me. And I'm always a little taken aback when people are like, wait, you have nobody out here? No, I go home and visit when I'm feeling like, I'm missing home a little bit. I go back to Milwaukee. I see my peeps, I say what up, then I go back to Boston, but yeah, so I moved out here when I was 20, as I said, and I worked a lot, and then I got a job working for TSA. And I was at TSA for a good 5.5 years until I realized that I was becoming like a zombie. Like, I was in this I was in this groove of waking up, going to work, waking up, going to work, waking up, going to work. And the money is nice. I mean, for a young kid, I started at 21 at TSA. The money was good. Like, I could pay all my bills. I didn't have to work 2 and 3 jobs to do it. I could just work this one, get some overtime. Like, I was loving it. Like, yes. And it's always when you are, in your groove that, like, you have to make a decision. Is this going to be my life? Is this fulfilling enough? And I felt like it wasn't. Once I got to the 5.5 year mark, I was like, wow, I started this. I was 21 and I was 26 when I was like, wow, you're about to be 30. And what have you done? Like, yes, you've always maintained. I had my own apartment. I had my own car. I could pay my bills, but was I really living though? Like, before I started TSA, I was traveling every week. I would go to New Hampshire, go to New York. I was going, with a friend or, by myself and just seeing what I could get into. All legal things, of course. But but I just stopped doing that once I got into TSA. Like, because there's always shifts that you can pick up. People always, want off. You can pick up hours there. If you just want to hustle, grind out, and get your money, like TSA, you can make a lot of overtime money, because once they get used to you being requesting the overtime, they tend to start to pick you more. I felt. I don't know if that's still the case, but I know when I was there, I was always getting that overtime because I showed up. And that's another thing. If you schedule yourself for overtime and then you don't show up for that overtime, oh, you can forget it, baby. They not picking you for overtime. So, the next time. So, I was always showing up for my overtime. And I didn't have any family or friends for me to do anything but work. But I still felt like, what kind of life is that? Like, you just work. You're in your 20s and all you do is work. So, yeah, I didn't want that to be my life. So then I had met my husband. He's now my husband. Back then, he was just a guy that was interested in me. I mean, I can be very, shall I say, oblivious to when guys like me, because I don't care. Like, when I'm in my mode of getting my money, nothing can stop me. So, my husband, he had noticed me or whatever, and something about when he came around me, I was like, oh, that man's gonna be my husband, but I'm not ready now. So I dodged him for a good year because I wasn't ready for the settling down. I still wanted to make my money. I didn't want to be distracted with trying to build a family and all that. I just wanted to work. I wasn't ready. So, but he wasn't looking at me like that at that point. It was just, I just had this feeling. Like, I was like, I don't know what it is about him, but just something in my spirit said, that's the one for you. And I was just like, oh, okay, that's cool. I'll be around when I be around. But not right now. I got to keep moving. So, a year later, he approached me and he kept pursuing me. And even then, I didn't even want to really let go of making my money. But eventually I was like, okay, Brittany, you gotta, there's gotta be more to life than just money in, money out in your bank account. Because I still have bills. Like, I was making money, but I lived on my own. I paid my own way. I never had my mother pay for pretty much anything at that point, as far as my everyday bills. Like, my mother wasn't paying my electric bill or stuff like that. Like, for the most part, It was, hey, mommy. How you doing on the phone? And that's it. But, I paid for my flights to get back home, stuff like that. But, yeah. So, that was a little bit of my life. And then, he came back into my life a year later, and I was like, you know what, Brittany, let's just give it a shot. It's not like you're dating anybody anyway. And there have been a few people that I've, dated or seen or whatever, but it never really lasted because I was busy. Like, ultimately, my schedule took over. But with Dan, well, dang, I guess I just said his name. My husband working the same job as me, it was very easy to see him when I wanted to, and he would understood that, oh, she's working, I can't see her right now. Well, I'll see her at the job, So he came to see me on my lunch breaks and stuff like that, or he'd come like 2 hours before his shift and see me when I would be on my lunch break. But I'm also a very, very professional person when I'm at work. So, nobody knew too much of anything unless I told them. But, even if we worked in the same location, I didn't talk to him when I was at work, just like I didn't talk to anybody else. I just did my job. And that was another thing, is I didn't really make too many close friends because I didn't hang with people outside of work. I'm very much, when I'm at work, I'm at work. When I'm at home, I'm at home. And I think that comes from my mother being that way. When she's at home, she's at home. And you're not getting her to come in when she's done. Like, so I didn't really hang with people from work outside of work. And I would also watch a lot of people get caught up with, going out drinking with the other, coworkers, and then the next day being embarrassed because, they got a little too free and people talk, and I just never wanted to be a part of that. So for those reasons, I didn't really. But once I knew I was pretty much done, that's when I started to hang with people a little bit outside of work. So I had my little fun knowing, oh, I've got about 6 months before I'm out of here. So let me just have a little fun before I go. So that's a little bit of my TSA life. But that 5.5 years was a long time that went by fast. Like, in the moment, I was like, dang, I'm here 5 years already? What? That time went by so fast, and I just didn't want to get caught up with not experiencing life because of it. So I decided that I was going to take at least a break, and then I had opened up a store. And towards the end of my last few months at TSA, I had already opened up the store. And owning a store, and it was an antique store, by the way, just so you know. And opening up the store, it was different. It was different. I liked the shopping. I liked being a buyer. But a lot of things I got attached to, and you can't get attached to your product when you're in sales. So I didn't like that feeling of having to sell things that I really, truly, genuinely loved. Like, nah. So I did that for a year, and then I decided to buy my house. So we bought a house. And then I started to get into headlights removal. And that is a hustle that pays really, really well. I mean, lights is one of those things that nobody likes talking about, and it doesn't really happen in the black community, so I didn't really know at first how this was going to play out, because all I did for head lice removal is apply the techniques that I do for my hair, that I've been doing for my hair ever since I was a kid, which is just combing my hair in sections. And I started out with a company, which I'm not going to say their name because why give them that play? Anyway, they're not getting that kind of promotion from me. But anyways, I started out with a company, and you know, they tell you how they do their method, and I felt like their method was inefficient. I felt like there's got to be a better way. Like, that's just way too simple for how much they charge. So anybody that's in the head lice game, they know, like, we charge a minimum of $100 an hour. So, and a lot of them have a minimum of $250 an hour. It just depends on the location and how many clients you think you can get with that price point, and so on and so forth. I felt for the parents, so I didn't charge as much as other people paid. I charged $100 an hour, and for my travel, I didn't charge as much as others. But I got a few people that, you know, that put out the good word for me, and I would travel and I'd go to people's homes and I'd do it there. And, you know, what I liked about the business is of being of service. I really liked being able to come in, get the head lice eradicated, and move on. You know, I liked being able to bring calm to a very panicked situation. So I really enjoyed it in that regard. But sometimes still it was just like, just bugs, you know, they just make you kind of, whoo. So I couldn't figure out how to actually market myself because I was so much in my head about how do I tell people that I'm a head lice specialist. And I'm really good at it too. Like, it doesn't take me all day. It might take me at the most 2 hours if the hair is really thick. But I also use heat, which most other head lice companies, they just manually comb. They'll put olive oil in your hair and tell you to keep combing it for another week. You have to keep combing it. When I'm done, you're done, you know, because I also cook. I put heat to the head, so, you know, I'm not going to exactly tell my whole entire process because then people are going to do my methods, and I can't have that. But nobody does it the way I do it, and my clients are very happy with me. They refer me, so I love y'all. I probably shouldn't do this because it's like, what, white power or something like that, they say. But I just think it's okie dokie. But I got to be mindful of that. But I do this a lot. Not out of white power because obviously I'm not white. But just it's okay. You know, whatever happened to that? Whatever happened to just being okie dokie? No? Nobody does that anymore? Oh, well. But anyway. So, yeah. So then I got into the head lice removal. And that was cool and all. But again, I just didn't know how to market. And if not enough people know you're around, it's not going to do anything for you, really. So I would just get calls from people who referred me, but it wasn't enough to sustain. So then I, you know, worked a couple of other retail jobs just so I, you know, network. Hey, this is what I do, or, you know, while I'm in these other jobs. And they're just really placeholder jobs, which, you know, I kind of felt for that actor who they kind of try to make fun of because he was working at Trader Joe's. Like, that's what we do when you're in industry, or you're in industries where you have to make your own money. You have to, at times, take placeholder jobs until your next gig pops. Like, so I totally understood why he was at Trader Joe's. Like, nothing is beneath anyone if it's going to pay you enough to pay your bills. Like, even with having my own store, like, I still had to work at TSA until I had enough to get me through at least a year without having a job, you know? So I understand doing placeholder jobs. It's not beneath me. Like, you know, people would tell me at different jobs that I worked at, like, you're too smart to be here. What are you doing here? I'm not too smart for anything. If I'm here, it's because I want to be. You know, like, it has nothing to do with smarts at that point. I'm here because they're paying me, and I'm okay with this pay right now for what I'm doing. Now, I'm also the type of person, I will deliver what you're paying me for what you're paying me. But you're not going to make me do things that we didn't agree to. I'm not that girl. You're not going to bully me into doing things that we didn't agree to do. Like, I'm also not that girl. And I'm not shy about saying I'm not doing that. No. This is what my job description is. This is what I'm comfortable with doing. So, yeah. And people would be like, wow. I can't believe she said no. Yeah. I'm not doing that. As long as it's not in my job description. Now, everything that, you know, I agreed to do, I did. But, you know, if I said no, I don't have the time for this extra hours, I'm not management, I'm not doing management duties. At the end of the day, you gotta respect that. And I've never been fired from a job because I refused to do something that wasn't my responsibility. They might have gruffed, but at the end of the day, that's not what I was paid to do. So I've never gotten in trouble for it. But I don't know about the next person. But I'm very, very much a SOP girl. I know what the standard operation of procedures are. So I don't get in trouble. I do my job. And then I go home. And then I forget about it. So that's always been the case too. When they're like, oh, do you know what happened with so-and-so? No, I went home. If it didn't happen the same day, I don't remember. My brain cannot, I don't know what happened. Don't know. And I never got into company gossip or gossip of, you know, co-workers. Like, I don't hear nothing, I don't see nothing, I don't ask nothing, so don't tell me. If it has nothing to do with work, I don't care to know. But if I do see that you are acting out of character, shall I say, or you tell me, like, there was this one time, a coworker of mine, he was acting very strange. Like, he was slurring his words, he was, like, staggering, and I asked him, I said, what's wrong? Are you okay? And he was like, oh, I hit my head. You know, I think I got a concussion. And I was like, you need to go to the hospital. Like, what's wrong with you? And, like, for real. And he was like, yeah, my dad thought I was drunk. And so he hit me. And I was just like, whoa. You really need to go to the hospital. And so I tried to get him to go because I just felt bad for him. Like, because, you know, he said, you know, at one of his jobs, his other jobs, you know, he drove forklifts or something like that for a furniture company. And he got hurt. He got hit in the head with something. Somebody hit him. don't know. But instead of reporting it, he just quit the job. And I was just like, that don't make sense. I don't know what that sound was. But anyways, so I told my manager, like, hey, I don't get into people's business, but somebody needs to have him go get looked at because he's not right. Like, he's slurring his words, and he said he has a head injury. Like, he really needs to go to the doctors, or at the very least, you guys shouldn't have him here because now he's a liability. And me just being me, and I don't want to be around someone that's going to be a liability. Like, I'm not responsible for stuff like that. But now that I know, I have to let my superiors know, because that's dangerous, especially when we worked around heavy equipment and stuff like that. I'm just not the one for that. So it wasn't me like snitching on the kid. It was more for him to be forced into going to get help. I felt bad for the kid. So I mean, ultimately what ended up happening, and then the manager was just like, nah, he's fine. So I said, okay, well, I'm not working today. I'm not being responsible for that problem right there. Oh no, guess what? My toe hurts. I'm out. So, yeah. I didn't feel comfortable. I felt sick to my stomach. Thinking of all the things that could happen. Nope. Didn't feel good. Didn't feel good about that at all. So, I went home. And then the next day, they were like, oh, Brittany, you wouldn't believe. Oh, yes, I could believe. That's why my spirit did not feel well. And home I went. So, yeah. No, when people tell you that they've had a head injury, you should take that seriously. Just saying. But, yeah. So then I did that. And then I've worked for a few different companies. And I don't think I'll ever really give the names other than TSA, because that's a big company. That's not like the little mom and pop stores that I've worked at. So I really like to work at the little mom and pop stores too. I love mom and pop stores. I do. I feel like I'm supporting the community when I work at a mom and pop store. So, anyway, so yeah, so then there was that, and then I worked for another temp agency so I can get more money, and I've just kind of been temping, and then I decided that, I want to get into this YouTube thing, and because I started a weight loss journey, and when I was in my fasting phase, I couldn't eat, so I started watching, these mukbangs or, eating videos, and I found myself being so, like, enthralled. Like, I couldn't believe that I was really sitting down for, like, hours and watching people just max out on food. And I was just like, but I wasn't hungry. I just liked watching them eat. And I was like, you know what? I can't eat as much as them. I don't want to eat as much as them. But maybe me not eating a whole lot of food will give people the ability to be like, you know what? I don't have to do that. Like, I don't have to, max out to the gills. Like, I can just eat until I'm satisfied and still enjoy eating 3 ounces of food, maybe 4 ounces of food. Maybe we don't have to be eating 2 pounds worth of food in one sitting. Like, 3 ounces worth of food is enough to fill you up. And especially if you're eating multiple times a day, which was good for it's good for your metabolism. I just wanted to be of service in that, and like getting us used to just eating smaller meals. And because you're eating smaller meals, I feel like that my food should be tasty. Like, I'm not going to eat a small portion of blah food. Like, that's not life. Uh, I'm a foodie in regards that I really love well seasoned food. I love food from all different uh, ethnicities and cultures. I like trying new things as far as food goes. I'm just trying to be more healthier about my portion size, because before I didn't eat regular enough and I would eat really big portions, and now I'm trying to do ice cubes instead of an ice block, so my body can absorb it and use it better. So I am trying to do better in how I go about my life. But so yeah, so for my YouTube, I want to maybe do a couple of channels. One channel with my friend Franklin eating. He's come to be a really good friend of mine. And he's been a manager at a few restaurants, and he knows it from the service side of, like, how the plating should look, and how the food should taste, to someone who's in the business. My first job ever, I worked at Old Country Buffet, which they don't have out here, so I feel okay to be able to say it. So, and at Old Country Buffet, being that it's a buffet, I was a busser. But I used to make I used to make dessert plates for people, so I can get a better tip. Or I'd make plates for people, so I could get a better tip. And I think I was one of the first busters to start, like, making plates for people, and then other people started following suit. But I would make plates so that people would have a reason to tip me. And and also for my seniors that came in, it was so that they could get all the food that they wanted to get without being hindered of, oh, I gotta get up and get another plate. Like, I'd bring it to you. You want a soda? I'll go get you a soda. Like, and then the other busters started following suit, and they started making plates and getting drinks so that we could make money. We were making pretty good money too. Everybody's tips went up until 9/11 happened, but I was working before that. That tells my age. Before 9/11, that was my first job. But anyways, so he knows from the sense of, Franklin, knows from the sense of how the service should be as, more of as an employee. But me, I'm coming from the sense of a person that likes to eat at restaurants. Like, I like the taste of it. I might not know exactly, like, the acidity or stuff like that, but I know it tastes good. I'm like, okay, this tastes fresh, you know what I mean? Like, okay, this tastes good. Or I like the textures, or if the textures are not working with me, I'm more of the layman in terms of critiquing the food, and he's more of the corporate side of how food should taste. So we've been trying out different restaurants, and it's been pretty fun, So yeah, but Franklin, that's my buddy right there. And then I also want to do a couple videos about, myself and things that I'm working on, like, different businesses that I'm working on. Because like I said, I'll work a placeholder till my next gig pops. So right now I'm at a placeholder position, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with being at my placeholder. It's pays well, and it's not too stressful, which is what I don't want. I don't want a stressful job. Just don't really care to be stressed over somebody else's profits. Like, if I'm not getting ownership, nah, son. I'd rather do a job that I don't have to use so much brain power for. So that's just me personally. I don't mind placeholder jobs until a gig of mine pops. So, but yeah, but I think, I really want to give the food reviews a chance and some light. And I also want to give local restaurants a chance to have some shine and some light on them. So we'll be doing a lot of restaurants out of Massachusetts that aren't necessarily a chain or have a big following and being nationwide. Like, we just want to support what's local to Massachusetts. And so when you come out to Massachusetts, you know where to go visit. Be like, oh yeah, Brittany and Franklin talked about, so and so, or Brittany and Franklin went to Lolo Pokey, or Brittany went to Jimmy's in Danvers. Hey, I want to be of service to helping other people find good food, and for the restaurants to get a chance to get some shine and some shout out for serving good food. Yes, so that's what I'm working on now, trying to get these videos done. And hopefully, after some months of trying to eat mindfully and showing you the different restaurants that show good, because like I said, I have lost some weight. I've lost at least over 50 pounds, but I still have this little double chin action. So the longer we stay together, this will go away, because I'm going to be mindful and with you guys and showing you and myself that we don't have to eat crazy to still enjoy food. So, but I'm gonna get this. This is gonna get right, and we're gonna work together. But yeah, so this has been a good intro. I think you know a little bit more about me. If there's anything that you want to know, or any questions you guys have, and maybe I can answer those as well, just let me know in the comments section. I feel like, I don't know if I should have to tell you guys to like, comment, and subscribe, but I'm going to say like, comment, and subscribe, but I don't think that's going to be something I do in every video. So just, if you like what you see, subscribe, and just remember that for the other videos. I might not. I'm still getting to know this thing. This is still very raw, still very new for me. So just grow with me in this YouTube journey. And hey, let's just have fun. Talk to you later. Bye.